This is a test. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Test. 1, 2. Test. 1, 2. Test. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Test. 1, 2. Test. 1, 2. A couple of teams near the top of the league table are at Thornton Gymnasium tonight. Aurora trying to remain undefeated in league play. St. Norbert trying to shake off a loss to the other team atop the conference standings 2 nights ago. It is Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference women's volleyball between the St. Norbert College Green Knights and the Aurora University Spartans. And we're glad you're here. Happy Saturday afternoon. Hope your weekend is getting off to a nice start. If you had to do any yard work here this morning, it was a chilly one if you were in the Fox Valley area. But hope that you're able to warm up and settle in a little bit here for what we're expecting to be a very good one here inside Alumni Hall. Aurora 8-0 in NAC play, 17-6 overall. They routed Dominican on Thursday. Their 4th consecutive 3-0 win and their 8th consecutive win overall. Well, where Dominican really hardly got anything going at all. And that allowed Aurora to stay just a half game behind Edgewood in the conference standings. They are tied at percentage points because they're both undefeated. Aurora just has a match in hand, as Edgewood has not yet had a bye, so to speak. So, with that in mind, Aurora just trying to keep pace at this point until the teams match up in just 1 week from today. This is a tough portion of the schedule. Concordia Chicago on Thursday night coming up, a team that can't afford to fall any farther off the pace, and then Edgewood, Benedictine. All 3 of those matches here over the next 10 days are on the road. It will be a tall order today against St. Norbert. 17-8 overall, 6-2 in the NAC. A golden opportunity at the Edge Dome on Thursday. They won the first set 25-13 and hit 367 in that first set. They hit 121 the rest of the way and still had a chance to take a 2-0 lead. They were ahead 20-17 before Edgewood peeled off a 6-point run that included 5 service aces. That gave the Eagles the second set, and they would win the final 2, 25-21, 25-24, to stay atop the conference standings and send St. Norbert into a 4-way tie for 3rd place. This is a very good, very talented, and very deep, very experienced, I could go on, St. Norbert team. But now needing to come up with a win to keep their conference championship hopes alive for the moment. They need a lot to happen here over the final few weeks, and it has to start by coming away with a win on the road today. For Aurora, their conference title hopes are very much alive. They need a win today to keep pace with Edgewood and potentially set up a huge meeting a week from today on the road. This is going to be a fun one, folks. It's the 24th match of the season for AU. It is on the way here at athletics.aurora.edu. And let's meet our starting lineups. First, for the visiting Green Knights of St. Norbert College, B.J. Bryant has been leading this team for a while now. This is his 11th year. He has 171 wins. Also the head coach of the St. Norbert men's volleyball team. Here's their starters. They have two liberos today, a junior from Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, Maddie Katowski, and a senior from Rhinelander, Wisconsin, Kara Sowinski. Rest of the lineup is a sophomore from Iola, Wisconsin, Casey Vaughn, a senior from Rhinelander, Wisconsin, Mari Zeus. From Seymour, Wisconsin, a senior, Andriana Voles, a senior from Oshkosh, and the reigning NAC Offensive Player of the Week, Heidi Colburn, and the senior from Plymouth, Wisconsin, Claire Lindsay. Katowski, Sowinski, Vaughn, Zeus, Voles, Colburn, and Lindsay are the starters today for St. Norbert. St. Norbert 17-8, they're 6-2 in the NAC. And the lineup today for the Aurora University Spartans is as follows. It's head coach James Seidelman, 253 wins, as he is in year 13 with the Spartans. His libero is the freshman from Oconomowoc, Katie Brisk. She'll be joined by a sophomore from West Chicago, Trinity Nelson. Freshman from Lamont, Isabella Kowalczyk. From Port Washington, Wisconsin, the sophomore Carolyn Lippy. Out of Joliet, the sophomore Peyton Darguzis. Dyer, Indiana, the junior Caitlin Ruse. And a senior from Elburn, Illinois, Riley Moreno. Brisk, Nelson, Kowalczyk, Lippy, Darguzis, Ruse, Moreno. A lineup for Aurora, 8-0 in the NAC, 17-6 overall. And those are your lineups today. Our referees are Merrick Fraz and Ed Vesley. Line judges are Russ Vondra and Glenn Nielsen. St. Norbert on the left of the net as we begin today. They are wearing green uniforms with gold numbers. St. Norbert in script on the front. Their liberos are wearing gold with green numbers. Aurora on the right of the net wearing white uniforms with blue numbers. Aurora in script on the front. Their libero is in black today with white numbers and letters. Spartans and Green Knights in what is looking, at least on paper, like it should be a very good one today, and we are looking forward to it here. It's a rivalry that actually had featured quite a few meetings in the aughts, and it mostly went to St. Norbert during that time. They won 16 of 17 off of Aurora from 2002 to 2011, and they didn't play for a while until St. Norbert joined the NAC, and since then Aurora's won 6 of 7. That one loss was last year in De Pere. A 3-1 win for the Green Knights. So Aurora trying to hold serve on their home court. Last year's meeting, by the way. Well, we'll tell you about that in a moment. There we go. Aurora won the first set. St. Norbert won the final 3. And Casey Vaughn, the returning leader with 9 kills in that contest. And without anything further, we're all set. As Claire Lindsay will start it off for St. Norbert with the jump serve that is fielded by Brisk in the back row. Caitlin Ruse gets the first swing and hit it long as the Green Knights are out to the early advantage. Very early advantage. It's 1-0 as Lindsay, who has 23 aces, serves again and has number 24 as that one handcuffed Lippy. Third best mark on the team with 21 aces a year ago. Has already set a career high. 2-0 Green Knights. This time Lippy handles it well. Nelson Sets Ruse, who goes down the line. That's handled by Voles. On the far side, the swing for Casey Vaughn, who delivers to make it 3-0. Vaughn is St. Norbert's leader. The top 5 in the NAC, 232 kills, hitting at a 186 mark. Lindsay serves again. Lippy one more time. Nelson sets Ruse. She gets a lot of that going down the line, and Voles can't bring it back as Aurora is on the board. Now here is Brisk, Aurora's leader with 31 aces. 2 of those came on Thursday against Dominican. It sends a Green Knight to the floor, and Aurora will get a look here. The bump set from Darguzis, and a free ball coming here from Kowalczyk. On the far side, here's Vaughn again. That's blocked. I'll bump set Vaughn a second time on the far side, who tips it over the Aurora block and puts St. Norbert ahead 4-1. I mentioned in the pregame how good that start was for St. Norbert on Thursday, and they weren't able to sustain it. Service error coming here from Mari Zuz. And Aurora picks up its second point today on the error, and that'll send Kowalczyk back to serve. She has 22 aces. Did not have one on Thursday against Dominican as she serves here. Voles had some trouble on serve receive. Got a bump set that Vaughn got a decent look at. Then from the middle, Darguzis nothing there. And Vaughn is set one more time on the far side. She goes to the tip again and puts St. Norbert up 5-2. And we'll see Colburn serve. Her 44 service aces lead the NAC, and she had 59 aces last week. 59 assists last week to earn NAC Offensive Player of the Week honors. She gets a return from Aurora. It's the bump set on the far side for Vaughn, who caught fingertips to give the Green Knights a 6-2 lead. It's early, but Aurora trying to find its footing here. Colburn had a good serve on her first attempt. This one will not find the court. And it's 6-3 as Caitlin Ruse gets the ball. 25 aces for the Lake Central High School alum. Aurora's leader in kills. 238, by the way, puts her in the top 3 in the league. Side spinning serve at Lindsay. Here's Vaughn again. He's been busy, but Alyssa Holst was ready for that. Kowalczyk from the far side. Drove it into the net on Aurora's touch. It's whistled for 4. And 7-3 is the St. Norbert advantage as Vaughn gets the ball to serve. Those 12 aces, not a huge threat from back behind the service line. Sends it over at Brisk. Nelson runs it down, bumps it off the net. Holst gets a look, but Zowinski couldn't keep it in the arena. So Holst has her first kill, the freshman from Holland, Michigan. Now with 145 on the season, third best on the Spartans. Peyton Darguzis will get the ball. A serve on the way. It's a good one, and Moreno tried to come up with a block finish and could not. Aurora scrambles. They managed to get the ball back. Great defense. On the near side, there's a left-handed swing from Anna Kudik. No, Aurora tries again. That's dug in the back row by Vaughn. I'll dial up Kudik a second time, and the junior from New Lisbon, Wisconsin, fires down the middle to make it 8-4. 12 kills against Edgewood on Thursday. Coming off the bench and into that front row. Libero Katowski serves. Moreno gets a look from the middle. That was dug out. St. Norbert goes up 9-4 on the swing from the middle. And it's another fast start for the Green Knights as Katowski serves for the second time. At Ruse, Nelson will set Holst on the near side, but Katowski was waiting for that. Set to the far side, that's Annabelle Stevenson. It was blocked. Second try coming. Kudik gets a look here. She goes up the middle. Ruse was there. Holst on the near side. She'll try it. That's tipped at the net. It's the bump set. Back to Stevenson. Into the block, and Aurora has the point. That's been an issue for St. Norbert at times this year. They've hit into 7 or more blocks 15 times this season, have overcome it about half the time, and have hit into a NAC high 198 blocks. Far side. Bad set. Aurora closes to within 3. .182, sorry. I'll redo my math there. Nevertheless, a lot of blocks that St. Norbert has hit into. I'm trying to avoid that here. Near side, there's Kudik. Splits the Aurora defense, 10-6. It's the Green Knights' advantage. They have 7 kills and only 2 errors on 13 attacks. Been an efficient start for B.J. Bryant's group. Andriana Voles serves and serves an ace. Her 35th of the year, just outside the NAC top 10. Voles looks to give it another try. Line drive at Holst. Nelson runs it down, sets Kowalczyk, who sticks it into the back corner. Like Aurora has been in that 3 to 5 range, trailing the Green Knights for all of this first set. There's Carolyn Lippy. 16 aces on the year, goes at Vaughn in the back row. The set's for Stevenson, who drives it right into the middle of the court. Stevenson, the freshman from nearby Geneva, 8 kills on Thursday. She is up now to 110 on her rookie year. That gets the ball back to Claire Lindsay. First in St. Norbert's rotation with a 5-point lead. Brisk receives. Nelson from the line sets Kowalczyk. A dig by Voles. Now Vaughn gets a try. Brisk was waiting for that. Back set Kowalczyk on the far side. Voles the dig. It ends up in the seats. And Aurora will make it 12-8. And indeed, Voles not the dig after all. And Brisk will get the ball. Incredibly, that was Brisk's first dig of the day. Serves at Voles in the back row. The set for Colburn. It's quickly over and down for a point. And we'll see Kira Aschenfelter. 12 aces on the year for the sophomore. Serves at Brisk. 13-8 Green Knights. Kowalczyk the tip. Dig by Kirsten Klatt. Now Vaughn gets a look. That's off the block and wide. St. Norbert has its largest lead at 14-8. Suspect a timeout is probably in Aurora's future if they can't get a point here. There's Ruse, tipped and handled in the back row. Vaughn now on the far side, pushes that off the block. Kowalczyk the dig. Ruse near side, up the middle, gets a long return and wide for an Aurora point. Second kill for Caitlin. Spartans need a run. They've peeled off back-to-back points only once. Obviously, that's going to need to change if they're going to take the first set. Set to the middle for Klatt. Had the whole court. And found a seam to go up 15-9. Colburn with the ball. A few dribbles for the senior and serve on the way at Ruse. Nelson from the logo sets Darguzis. She pushed it wide, and Aurora indeed will take timeout right here. Well, the Spartans with some work to do. St. Norbert hitting .450 here through the first half, the first set. This is Aurora University women's volleyball. Well, as it was against Edgewood when St. Norbert won by 12 in the first set. So far for Aurora, not had a lot of answers for the Green Knights. It's 16-9 here in the first set. It is a best of 5. And also you got to get to 25, and this is an Aurora team that can put up points in a hurry, as we saw on Thursday. Darguzis gets a look on the right side. Now Vaughn, stand corrected, now Kudik gets up, hammers it up the middle to make it 17-9. Aurora started Thursday with a 10-point run, had an 11-point run in the second set that took them to set point. Ruse to the net. Nelson just has to tip it over, and it's good. Well, Nelson had no hope of getting a set off the net there. And so calmly just tipped it over to the far sideline. It's now 10 serving 17. Ruse with the ace. Hits the net and gets the friendly roll. Does that get Aurora started? We're down by 8, now down 6. Ruse serves again. Lindsay goes to a knee on the near side. Kudik, that's tipped, and Ruse is there. Nelson, the tight set. Holst. 3 straight for Aurora for the first time in the match. 17-12. Ruse looking to continue giving Aurora a spark and has her second ace of the sequence. 17-13. Green Knights have peeled off 5 of 6 prior to this 4-point run for Aurora. Ruse, another one off the net. Green Knights scramble. Kudik just tips it over. Brisk got the first touch. Blocked. Aurora still alive and now over on 3. Well, this is a scramble and then a long ball trying to finish it was Nelson. No. Kudik near side. Gets a long return. And Aurora was into the net. Darguzis. And that will give St. Norbert the 18-13 advantage. After a wild sequence where both teams were well out of system. Now Casey Vaughn on serve. Nelson sets Darguzis, who drops it inside the back line. (18-14). Darguzis, fresh off the kill, serves. Colburn set Stevenson, the dig by Ruse. Holst on the near side, just a bit long. Aurora needing one more run to really make St. Norbert uncomfortable. They lead 19-14. Katowski serves at Ruse. Nelson wants Moreno, who rips that off of the block attempt by Zeus. And that's Moreno's first kill on just her second swing. I'll give the ball to Trinity Nelson, who has served well in her career at Aurora. He goes at Vaughn. Stevenson will get a try on the far side. It's tipped, kept alive by a diving Holst. Aurora scrambles, then over on 1 by St. Norbert. That'll allow Aurora to get back in a groove. And Kowalczyk with the finish on the far side. Oh, the decision to go over on 1. Perhaps a little ambitious for St. Norbert. Their 8-point lead has shrunk to 3. Nelson, a little trouble on serve receive. Colburn sets Kudik, that's blocked. Second attempt, Kudik will get another look. This one's good. Nelson diving for it. Wasn't able to pull it up, and the Green Knights get to 20 first on this Saturday. As the ball will go back to Vols. Aurora's taken 7 of the last 10 points. They'll need more of that down the stretch. Moreno with the hit from the middle. No. Once again at the middle, Colburn. Aurora, after Brisk with the dig, Then Holst was blocked. Brisk gets it back over. Green Knights reload. Stevenson wins the point. And it's 21-16 St. Norbert. Voll serves again. It's at Holst. Nelson will set Kowalczyk on the near side. Sowinski is there. From the middle, Zeus is blocked. Moreno takes care of it herself. And it'll fall to Carolyn Lippy to try to put together a run on serve. Aurora trailing 21-17. Here's Lippy's serve at Sowinski. Line drive set to Stevenson, who blasts that off the block. Stevenson has 3 kills. Seems like Aurora, even as they've steadied here a little bit, is going to run out of time in this first set. But you have to get the 25. Green Knights haven't done that yet as Lindsay serves and serves too long. This is not the point where you want to start giving away 3 points if you're St. Norbert. Brisk serving, that caught the net. Sowinski went to the floor. Vaughn, that's blocked. Darguzis and Kowalczyk. Vaughn will try again. That's once again blocked by Kowalczyk. How about a third time for Vaughn? No. Darguzis and Kowalczyk putting up a wall. Then Lippy runs down one on the far side. Kowalczyk gets a look. This is still alive up here. Ruse near side. No. Colburn now. The line drive set to Zeus. But Darguzis was there. Here's the bump set to Kowalczyk. Blocked and back down at Nelson, who couldn't keep it alive. Timeout Aurora, but certainly not for a lack of effort that Aurora lost that last point. St. Norbert just a touch better on a marathon point. They're 2 sets away from a 1-0 lead. This is Aurora University women's volleyball, 23-18. Green Knights ahead in the first. Neither of these two teams has made much of a habit of dropping the first set. St. Norbert has lost the first set only 7 times, and Aurora isn't able to put together a significant rally. Would be just the 7th time they have needed to come from behind after dropping the first frame. Aschenfelter is in. And serves down the near line at Ruse. Here's a set to the middle for Darguzis. No. Nelson back to Ruse. It was tipped at the net, handled by Vols. Now Vaughn gets up. Went for the middle, no. Aurora some trouble. They can only just give a free ball back to St. Norbert. Vaughn again makes it set point. Vaughn with 6 kills, which ties her with Anna Kudik with a match high in just 1 set. Aurora will have to come back from down a set, it would appear. Aurora will get the point here as they save 1 set point but have to win 5 more. Doable, yes. Rare, also yes. As Kowalczyk serves. Colburn tries Klatt up the line. Brisk was there. Now Ruse with a try. Spins it into the middle, and Vols took it away on the dive. Vaughn now gets up, tipped and dug by Kowalczyk. Nelson goes over on 2. Sowinski brought that back, and then St. Norbert had some trouble. I have to think that if Aurora gets one more point, St. Norbert is likely to take timeout. But we'll see here. Third set point at 24-20. Kowalczyk serving. One goes to the net. Aurora tries to finish it off, and Darguzis does. B.J. Bryant wanders over toward the official, and now will take the timeout as expected. Well, that's why you have to get that 25th point. So the Green Knights will discuss. It's 24-21. Aurora needed to wipe out 6 set points. They've wiped out half of them at 24-21. (24-21). That is the Aurora deficit. Facing a set point here in the first. Isabella Kowalczyk serving again. At Vols. Colburn sets Klatt up the middle, and Kowalczyk was there. Nelson the tight set. Ruse with the tip. It's run down by Vols, and then Colburn went on 2 and plunged it into the net. That's 4 straight for Aurora. St. Norbert trying to hang on as Kowalczyk serves again. This time she goes at line Z. Vaughn didn't get a lot on that, and Aurora will get a try. Ruse from the middle, Vols the dig. Now Colburn, she'll try Vaughn on the far side. That time, Aurora can't bring it back, and St. Norbert made it very interesting, but they do close out the first set. 25-22. But can Aurora build on the momentum of the second half of that set as they go in the sets 2, 3, and at least 4 here on this Saturday afternoon if Aurora is going to win? This is AU Women's Volleyball. First set goes to St. Norbert, 25-22. The Green Knights with a .271 hitting percentage with 18 kills in the first. Casey Vaughn with 7 kills, 6 for Anna Kudik. They were both over .389 on the attack for St. Norbert. Isabella Kowalczyk led the Spartans with 4 kills. She added 5 digs. Those are both match highs. For the Spartans, AU with 2 blocks to 1. For the Green Knights, aces 2 apiece in that first set. Aurora, not enough answers for St. Norbert's attack in the first set. The Green Knights came in hitting .211, just a few points better than Aurora for the conference lead. Both teams also very good, top 2 in the conference in attacking defense. But so far, it's been a pretty crisp offensive showing, and St. Norbert starts off the first set with a kill to go up 1-0. They're on the right of the net in green. Or it's more of a, actually, now that I see it again, it's black with green stripes, and Aurora's on the left of the net wearing white. Far side, here's Ruse. That's pounded, and it is off of fingertips to tie it up. That's the first tie of the match. St. Norbert won the first session, wire to wire. Now we'll get the ball to Brisk for Aurora as they started on serve. Carolyn Lippy started it off. Now Brisk gets the ball here and goes at Lindsay. Bump set to Vaughn. Free ball Aurora. Brisk with the bump set to Ruse on the left. That's blasted off of Lindsay into the rafters, and Aurora has its first lead of the afternoon. And so now the objective is to extend it. Brisk lets it fly. That is at the back line and drifts just beyond it to make it 2 apiece. And that'll give Vaughn the ball. The sophomore lets it go at Lippy in the back row. Near side, Kowalczyk. That's good. Off of a defender and caroms to the back wall of Thornton Gymnasium. And Kowalczyk, after the kill, gets the ball to serve. Goes at Vaughn. Far side, Kudik, the drive. Lippy, the dig. Now Ruse sets, goes to the middle, and that's tracked down by Colburn. Near side up the middle, that's tipped. Lippy with the dig in the back row. And a line drive set. And that's touched twice by Ruse on the far side, trying to push that over. And it's 3 apiece. Second set, Green Knights up 1. And tied at 3 here in the second frame. Here's Kowalczyk from the back. Tipped the dig by Vaughn. Now Zeus gets a try from the middle and puts the Green Knights back into the lead. Aurora 1-5 this season when falling behind after the first set. St. Norbert 15-3 when winning the first set. One of those 3 losses was a couple of nights ago. First swing for Aurora blocked. Kowalczyk can only push it over, so the Green Knights reset. Stevenson's blocked. Zeus able to finish it off at the net. And the Green Knights go up 5-3 in the second. Pitowski's serve finds the middle of the net. Aurora closes to within 1 and gets the ball back for Ruse. 4 kills, 4 digs, couple of aces so far for Ruse. She goes at Vaughn. Kudik, the blast on the far side, 6-4, St. Norbert. Vols now serving. That's a good one. Brisk had to go to the floor, and a huge collision between Ruse and Nelson. Aurora gets the ball back. They're both okay, and then Aurora gets the block as Holst and Darguzis take care of business. And Ruse and Nelson, at least at a glance, appear to be okay. Nelson just taking a moment to correct her knee pad. They'll check on her. But it seems like she's fine. Right now, just retying her hair. And she'll go right back out there. That could have been a lot worse. And they both popped up smiling. No doubt in part because Aurora won the point. St. Norbert gets one right back at Zeus again. It's 7-5. You know, I'm always surprised that there aren't more collisions in volleyball than we tend to see. All the split-second decisions that they have to make out there. It gives you a really good sense for just how good they are at this. Sets off the mark. Moreno mistimed it. 8-5 Green Knights. Serve on the way at Holst. There's another set that Moreno wasn't able to connect on. One sailed over the net and wide for a St. Norbert point again. It's 9-5. Lindsay serving for the third time at Holst on the far line. Holst will get it back from Nelson and went into the middle and just in front of Sowinski. This is a really important part of the set. This was the deficit Aurora faced in the first set. Green Knights tallied 8 of the next 11 points, and Aurora wasn't able to make up that deficit. It's a set to the net, and Colburn just wins the joust. It's really been one of those matches here through the first set and change for Aurora. A lot of those 50-50 situations and those long rallies have ended up the St. Norbert side of the scoreboard. Nelson, the tight set, and Holst put it into the net cord. 11-6 St. Norbert. Timeout, Aurora. Spartans once again finding themselves with a hole to dig out of in the second set. They'll talk about it. This is Aurora University women's volleyball. Aurora looking for some answers at this point. Down 11-6 in the second set and also down a set. Kira Aschenfelter serving again for Aurora. Nelson settles under. Kowalczyk with the kill. Her sixth. It's one off the match high. Now can Carolyn Lippy serve Aurora back into the set? Lippy a career night defensively on Thursday and also added a couple of aces. Aurora could really use a couple now. Colburn wants Klatt in the middle. That's tipped and handled. Now Nelson tries Moreno. That's blocked by Klatt. So the middle's active here on this set. So they'll try the outside. And Ruse rips it off the block to make it 11-8. Lippy serves again. Caught the top of the net, sailed on over. Vaughn with the tip. Aurora can't get it back. Match high 8 kills without an error for Casey Vaughn, who's been outstanding. 8 kills, 20 attacks. 400 her percentage tonight. A 4-point Green Knights lead. As Colburn lets it go at Ruse. Some trouble on serve receive. Kowalczyk spins this over, and Lindsay will have it. Far side. Kudik is blocked. Moreno and Ruse were there on the far side. They seal the line and get the point for Aurora. Brisk takes the ball to serve after the side out. The alum of Kettle Moraine High School, home of the Lasers, I'm told. In the middle, it's Klatt, no. Aurora a couple of touches there, and Brisk just has to send it back. Now Vaughn, that's handled in the back by Lippy, and another free ball for the Green Knights. Now Klatt with the set to Kudik, who tips it over. Brisk lays out for the dig. Kowalczyk's swing was blocked. Now Aurora can get set. That's Ruse laying out, and dunked at the net on the long return is Darguzis. And Aurora pulls within a couple. St. Norbert took advantage of some real estate there on the far sideline for Aurora and punched it into that spot. And Aurora couldn't get all the way back. So the Green Knights with the response after Aurora took 4 of 5 points out of the timeout. They go back up 3 as Vaughn gets the ball and rips it into the net. Kowalczyk back to serve. Kowalczyk has paced Aurora's efforts in this one. 6 kills, 6 digs for the freshman. Kudik, the tip. That's wide. Aurora's within 1. So very much at the halfway point of this second set. Aurora having dropped the first frame and trying to avoid falling into a 2-0 hole. Kowalczyk floats the serve in. Kudik had to reach behind and got a long return out of her attempt. Now Stevenson had to shovel it over and didn't get it across the net. We are all square. What a response for Aurora out of the timeout. 7 of 9 points. 13 apiece as they try to come up with the third lead change of the night. It's another floated serve. Tight set Colburn, and Stevenson wins the point. Like, Colburn had virtually no room to work with. That's an excellent effort. A well-earned point for St. Norbert. And now 14-13. Ruse looking to get one back and does. We're even again. Ruse up to 6 kills to match Kowalczyk for the team high. Now has a match-leading 8.5 points. She serves. Zeus, she's blocked. Darguzis was waiting. Now the back set, Kowalczyk, who went for the middle, and that's run down by Soinski. Vaughn from the back row hit it long. Aurora has the lead. (15-14). Aurora trying to keep it going. Ruse goes at Vaughn. Here's the back set to Kudik, and she levels it. And we've found ourselves in a battle here in the second set. Vols serving at Holst. The back set, Kowalczyk to the near side. Kowalczyk pins it into the back corner. It looked like St. Norbert maybe thought that was going long at a glance. And it dipped right into that back spot. They're 16-15. Zeus, she's blocked, but it goes wide for a St. Norbert point. Three straight side outs and a 16-all second set. Here is Lindsay serving at Holst, and an ace. Holst did not receive that cleanly. That's our fourth lead change of the set. And Lindsay spins the ball in her left hand and lets it fly at Ruse in the middle back. Holst on the far side, up the middle to tie it up. 17 all. And now Trinity Nelson. Her serve gets right to the net, and Aurora will get a look. Holst far side. Sowinski, the dig. Bump set to Vaughn on the near side. Nelson keeps it alive. Moreno, and now a free ball from Brisk. Vaughn with the tip. Moreno keeping it alive. Aurora somehow gets it back over, but only for a moment, as Zeus was waiting and pounds it home. Well, Moreno right under the net. Somehow they got that back over, but merely put it on a tee for the senior from Rhinelander, Wisconsin. Now Holst with the try. Tipped and the dig by Voles. Vaughn will get a look on the near side and stuck it on the line. Well, one more inch and we're tied at 18. Instead, St. Norbert has the 2-point advantage. Kowalczyk looks to get one back and got it. She plants it on the near sideline as the kill goes cross court. And Lippy will get the ball with Aurora trailing by a point, 19-18. Very important second set. Aurora trying to get level in the match. Lindsay to a knee. Klatt blocked. We're tied. Moreno and Kowalczyk. And now a race to 25. Lippy serves too long. St. Norbert inches back in front. Are the Green Knights thinking about how the first set came to an end? They were up 24-18, gave up 4 straight points. It's going to be a lot tougher here with no margin for error. Serves at Ruse. Kowalczyk runs onto it on the near side and ties it back up. 9 kills for Kowalczyk to match the match high. Brisk with the ball. Into the net. Just the third service error for Aurora. That gives the Green Knights, once again, that 1-point advantage. Into the final points, we think, of the second set. Casey Vaughn serves at Lippy. Nelson sets Ruse on the far side. Sowinski was there. Free ball Aurora. It's a line drive back to Lippy. Ruse, another look. Sowinski got to it. Vaughn back pedals to put it back on the court. There's another free ball for Aurora. Nelson tries Kowalczyk on the near side. She had to double clutch and then swished it into the middle of the court. It's good for a point. And her 10th kill. That looked like taking a mid-range jump shot from Kowalczyk, who goes back to serve. and has an ace to give Aurora the lead. Trouble on serve receive for the Green Knights. St. Norbert will take timeout. 5 lead changes. In an entertaining second set, Aurora with the narrow advantage, 22-21 down a set in the second. Not much separation between Aurora and St. Norbert on paper, and not in this second set either. 22-21 Aurora. Isabella Kowalczyk having a day right now for AU. Already 10 kills, 6 digs, and an ace. Her 11.5 points lead all players. She serves. Kudik on the far side. Lippy was waiting for it. Here's Ruse. Spins to the middle. Colburn runs it down. On the bump set for Stevenson. Tipped, and Lippy's there. Darguzis from the middle. No. St. Norbert scrambling. Stevenson tries again, but Kowalczyk was there. Ruse far side. Colburn gets an arm up and keeps it alive. Stevenson tries again and ties it up. Well, Heidi Colburn, point-saving dig on the far line. We'll see if that's a set-saving dig. It's Katowski serve. She goes at opposite libero. Darguzis is blocked. Mari Zeus. It's the Green Knights back in front, and Aurora will take its final timeout. 6th lead change of the set. Anxious moments here at Thornton Gymnasium. This is AU Women's Volleyball. I mentioned the 6 lead changes. Also have been 12 ties. Aurora trying to make it 13 as they face Maddie Katowski's second serve of this sequence. Brisk receives. Nelson with the bump set. Ruse and only send it back over. Stevenson laying out Lippy keeps it alive. Then Ruse gets a try and wins the point. And Lippy with the full extension in the back row to save the point. And after picking up her 7th kill, Ruse goes back to serve. There will be a set point coming up. Who will have it? Colburn sets Kudik, and it will be the Green Knights with a chance to win the second set first. And like Ruse before her, Kudik, after her kill, will get the ball to serve. A left-handed jump serve goes at Brisk. Nelson, the bump set to Holst from way out. Sowinski receives the dig, and now Stevenson. It's blocked. Green Knights scramble. Stevenson tries again and gives St. Norbert a 2-0 lead. Aurora will need to come all the way back and make this go the distance to avoid dropping their first NAC match of the season. St. Norbert 25-22 and then 25-23 as they get 4 of the final 5 points of the set to go up 2-0. Our broadcast of Aurora Women's Volleyball and all of our other broadcasts for that matter, presented in part by BSN Sports. Wear what the Spartans wear. Visit athletics.aurora.edu/getau gear. By Chick-fil-A in Oswego, eat more chicken. By Kaufman GMC in Aurora, celebrating 75 years of service to Aurora and communities across Chicagoland. By Elite Management Properties, offering extensive student housing options around the Aurora University campus. And by Raising Cane's in Oswego, One Love. Between sets here at Thornham Gymnasium, took a moment to recognize the AU Conference Championship program from the spring portion of the 2025 season. That will be the Spartan men's volleyball program, who went 26-5 overall. Won the program's 3rd consecutive NAC regular season crown in their 8th season of competition. Won their first NAC tournament to advance to the NCAA tournament for the first time. Their 26 wins shattered the previous single season record of 18, set just the previous year. So congratulations to AU men's volleyball and good luck to them coming up here in a couple of months when their season gets underway. Aurora on the right of the net wearing white. St. Norbert is in black on the left side of the net. Green Knights up 2-0. And they have gone 13-0 this season. Hitting 256 to 198 for Aurora. Claire Lindsay gets it started. It's a good serve, and a better job by Aurora leads to Riley Moreno, who fires up the middle to give Aurora the first point of the set for the first time. Brisk takes possession and serves. Went at Sowinski. Here's Vaughn, who times it, flips it over, and it's good. Somewhat incredibly, Aurora has not led by more than a point all day. They didn't lead at all in the first set. Led 3 times in the second, and each time was followed by a side out. Lippy, Aurora out of the point. Clapp was into the net. 2-1 Spartans. Isabella Kowalczyk, team leader, 10 kills, 7 digs. Plus an ace, serves away. Vaughn, blocked. She'll back set to Klatt, who launches a free ball. It was going out. Lippy brought it back in. Ruse swings no. Kowalczyk far side. Green Knights have that. Vaughn is blocked. Sowinski will bump set to Vaughn, who couldn't do anything with that. Now Ruse got it. Well, it looked like that was a point Aurora should have won about 20 seconds earlier. They get it anyway and have a 2-point lead for the first time. Kowalczyk's serve barely cleared the net, and then Aurora got into the net. I believe it was Ruse. Oh, it was, well, regardless, it was into the net and it's 3-2. Ruse near side, the drive, the long return, and it's out. 4-2 Spartans. Ruse serving. It's into the net to make it 4-3. Vaughn on serve at Brisk. Nelson sets Darguzis on the line. She finishes the job. It's 5-3. And we'll see Jalen Skaggs for the first time today. Check in for Aurora. She has 5 service aces. She'll give it a try here. Vaughn, trouble on serve receive. Green Knights get it back. So Aurora gets set. Moreno got it. Off the block and good. 6-3 Spartans. It's a much better start than Aurora has had so far today. Kudik, bad set, 7-3 Aurora. BJ Bryant was all the way toward the wall of the gym and now works his way the direction of the official, but does not go to a timeout just yet. Probably will not wait much longer. Vaughn gets one back. So the serve comes in from Kitowski, and Aurora from the middle will get the job done. (8-4) Aurora. Nelson with the ball. Goes at Sowinski. Here's Stevenson on the far side. Drops it in front of Ruse. That'll hand the ball to Voles, who served it wide. It's 4 straight side outs, and Aurora has a 9-5 advantage as Lippy heads back to serve. Lippy's serve sends Voles to a knee. Zeus from the middle. Side out St. Norbert. Serve on the way from Lindsay. Nelson, the back set to Kowalczyk. She'll get it. Lindsay couldn't bring it back in. They'll get the ball to Brisk. Kowalczyk now up to 11 kills. Brisk with an ace. And Aurora up 5. Her team leading 32nd of the season and her first of this Saturday. He serves at Voles, who has some trouble. Vaughn gets it back on the court, punched it wide. And once again, B.J. Bryant pacing. Does not take a timeout yet. Brisk floats the serve over. Colburn set Zeus in the middle. Lippy the dig. Ruse on the near side. Off the block and good. 13-6 Aurora and a quick timeout from St. Norbert. Well, Aurora has roared out of the gate in the third set as they have to take this to 5, and a good start so far. 13-6 in the third. This is AU Women's Volleyball. Now Katie Brisk still serving. Aurora with a 4-point run and a very fast start. In this third set, they're up 13-6. Brisk serves at Vaughn. Vaughn will get it back on a bump and just pushes it over. Nelson ran it down. Brisk tries Rue. She goes up the middle. Not the desired response out of the timeout. Looks like St. Norbert might be nearing a substitution as Allie Clark gets up and moves chairs on the sideline. Zeus up the middle. 14-7. Ashenfelter serving. It's a line drive and goes off of Ruse and out wide. St. Norbert's fourth ace to match Aurora in that category. Serve on the way at Lippy. Nelson from the back line to Kowalczyk. Tips it over. Colburn was there. Vaughn, she tries the tip, denied. Now it gets a full swing and will get it off of Lippy. That one got up on Lippy's shoulder. She couldn't keep it alive. 14-9 now. So a comfortable Aurora lead. Lippy receives serve. Nelson ran it down. The bump set for Ruse, and to a knee sliding was Lindsay. Vaughn blocked. Darguzis and Kowalczyk sealed the line. Vaughn tries again, tips it over them. Aurora keeps it alive. Ruse got up. And Lindsay was waiting for it again. Colburn on 2 and was able to put that off of Nelson's shoulder. St. Norbert responds with 4 straight. Set on the far side, Kowalczyk. She's up to a dozen today. Breaks a three-way tie for the match high. Caitlin Roos had just caught her. Casey Vaughn was at 11 as well. Now it's Kowalczyk all alone atop the kills board today. She heads back to serve. At Lindsay. Vaughn, the tip. Kowalczyk briefly got it back. It carries wide. It's 15-11. Heidi Colburn serving. The back set to Kowalczyk, drives it up the middle. Colburn saw her pass end up in the net. For all that, St. Norbert gets a try, and from the middle, they get the point to close within 3. Well, that's now 6 of 7 for the Green Knights. And Colburn will serve for a second time on this rotation. Nelson from the attack line for Roos. Tipped. Lindsay the dig. Vaughn, that went off of fingers. Lippy was able to get there. Free ball, Green Knights. Colburn goes to Vaughn, pushes that over the block. Nelson the dig. Nelson's going to get a try here. It was blocked. Then over on 2. Lippy ran that down. Nelson tries Roos. It's blocked, and it's good. Green Knights couldn't run it down. 16-12. AU in front as they get the long rally to go their way. Roos looks to the bench for serving instructions and now lets it go. Here's Mackenzie Benter into the match. And Benter's first attack goes wide. 17-12. Benter had been at Concordia, Wisconsin, a former all-conference selection for the Falcons. So she's in. Gets another try here. Tips it over the block. Brisk was waiting for it. Now the back set to Kowalczyk. It bounces off the net cord and down for an Aurora point. The bounce is going AU's way here in the third now. 13 kills for Kowalczyk as she closes in on her career high. Roos serving again. Vaughn. I'll try the middle. Clark, no. Mentioned she was moving chairs. Now she's into the match. Free ball, St. Norbert. Colburn wants Vaughn. She blasts it down the far line. You look at the box score to give you an idea of how close things are here. If you didn't look at the scores, you'd probably think Aurora was winning. The box score is tilted in AU's favor. St. Norbert takes its final timeout of this set. So they take it here after winning a point. They're down 18-13. This is Aurora University women's volleyball. Casey Vaughn serving for St. Norbert. Holds the ball out, and it's a standing serve. 18-13 Aurora in the third. Holst wide. Aurora has both of its timeouts in the third set. If St. Norbert is able to mount some kind of a rally, Aurora down 2-0, obviously has to win. Vaughn serves at Holst. Nelson sets Darguzis. First attempt was blocked. Now Holst elevates, blocked again, and it caroms wide off of Aurora. 3 straight for the Green Knights, now trailing by 3. Vaughn serves it brisk. Nelson sets Holst. Sliding. Sowinski with the dig. Now Benter. First attempt blocked. I'll try Benter again. This one is tipped. Brisk keeps it alive. Holst with a swing. Sowinski waiting for that. Stevenson on the far side. Brisk with the dig. Nelson ran it down again. Holst tries one more time, and Vaughn was waiting for it. Stevenson now. Dig again by Brisk. Ruse's set goes right to the net, and Holst, oh goodness. Colburn apparently got it off of Holst, and it went out off of Aurora. James Seidelman does not agree. I don't agree. That looked like that had to be an Aurora point. But the ruling is that Holst swung it out of bounds. Oh, that's a tough break for Aurora. Now Vaughn serves. Green Knights down by only 2. Kowalczyk trying to get it back for Aurora. This one high off of Vaughn into the rafters, and a free ball for the Spartans. Holst blocked, back over by Brisk. Benter on the near side, hit it long. So Aurora able to get a steadying point. And now we'll see Skaggs come in to serve. 19-16 Aurora. Now here's the serve. It's Sowinski. Stevenson on the far line off the block. And we'll see Allie Clark serve. Only 4 service aces on the year for Clark in 32 sets. It goes at Ruse here. Nelson for Holst. Dig by Stevenson, who will get it right back and pulls the Green Knights to within a point. Aurora was up 14-6. Since then, 12 of 17 points have gone to the Green Knights. And Aurora will take its first timeout as they try to hang on to a lead and force this into a 4th set. 19-18, Aurora in front in the third, down 2 sets. This is Aurora University Women's Volleyball. Now St. Norbert has put together a very solid middle portion of the third set after being down 8. Now trailing by only 1 and serving. Here is Moreno. She gets a long return. Now Holst will try to extend the lead, and it's blocked. Zeus and Benter as the Green Knights have come all the way back to tie the third set and now can start thinking about maybe finishing off a sweep. Aurora looking for a response, and the ensuing attack is hit long as the Green Knights have taken the lead. 8 of the last 9 points. Clark is still serving but puts it into the net, and we're tied. It's the third tie of the set. It follows the first lead change of the frame. Nelson to try to put Aurora back into the lead. At Vaughn. Stevenson gets the set stuffed. Moreno and Kowalczyk. It's Aurora's 6th block today, and a good time for that. It gets the ball back to Nelson, and remember, St. Norbert does not have any timeouts left. Colburn tries Zeus, and the Green Knights middle gets the point for the visitors. It is 21-all with Voles taking the ball, ready to serve for the Knights. It's a good serve. Aurora very fortunate to get that back. Now the Green Knights, Stevenson, the tip. Nelson slides in for the dig. Kowalczyk, no, Vaughn was there. Zeus off the block. 22-21 to retake the lead, and Aurora will take its final timeout. St. Norbert potentially 3 points from the match. Aurora looking for one final rally to send this to a fourth. This is AU Women's Volleyball. St. Norbert on a 16-7 run. Ari Zeus, 3 kills. Casey Vaughn and Annabelle Stevenson, 2 apiece in that stretch. They lead 22-21 with a 2-set lead in the third. And Voles' serve got Aurora off the court. Kowalczyk still got a good look at it and ties it up. Green Knights could not bring that back. No more timeouts in this third set. It's 22 apiece. A sprint to the finish line. Lippy serves. Zeus wheels around. Lippy got an arm to it, but it arcs into the net. 23-22 for the Green Knights. Lindsay is in to serve. Side spinning serve at Ruse. Back set to Kowalczyk, who's blocked, and it is match point. Vaughn, along with Colburn. Lindsay will try to finish it off. Aurora looking for back-to-back points. Difficulty on serve receive. Ruse gets a good look, but Soenski's there. Now Vaughn drives it into the back. Lippy was there. Kowalczyk trying to extend it. No. Colburn over on 2. Brisk lays out to keep it alive. Free ball for St. Norbert. Zeus from the middle. Hit it wide. It went off of the net and spun out. There were a lot of very difficult defensive plays on that sequence, perhaps none more so than the one with the ball right now, Katie Brisk, who may have saved the match. She serves it deep into the court. Vaughn with the tip. That's blocked. Colburn set. Zeus! Aurora is into the net, and that's how the match comes to an end. That is an unsatisfying ending to what will end up being a short but very entertaining match. St. Norbert wins it in 3 today, 25-22, 25-23, 25-23. The Green Knights with a .237 attacking percentage. A very respectable 188 mark for Aurora today, but the Green Knights with 10 more kills. Aces were even at 4. Blocks were 6-4 for Aurora. That's too much of the Green Knights on this Saturday. Isabella Kowalczyk leads all players with 14 kills, plus 11 digs for her 4th double-double. Caitlin Ruse had 12 kills, 6 digs, and a couple of aces. Carolyn Lippy tied for the match lead with 13 digs. Katie Brisk added 10 for Aurora. 12 kills apiece for Casey Vaughn and for Mari Zeus. 10 kills for Annabelle Stevenson. Kara Soenski had 13 digs. Andriana Voles had a dozen, and Heidi Colburn had 39 assists and 11 digs. With the win, St. Norbert now 18-8. They move to 7-2 in the NAC. After today, their remaining opponents are all 8th or lower in the NAC standings. Aurora drops its first NAC matchup of the year. They fall to 8-1, 17-7 overall. Our match today was 1 hour and 23 minutes. I mentioned that Aurora begins a 3-match road trip now, as they will visit Concordia Chicago on Thursday. A week from today, they're at Edgewood, the league leaders, all by themselves now. And then at Benedictine on November 6th. They'll return for Senior Day on November 8th in what is their regular season finale against MSOE. So that is what is next for Aurora. Thanks to the AU Facilities and Athletic Communications teams today for helping make today's broadcast possible. Again, the final 25-22, 25-23, 25-23. St. Norbert defeats Aurora on the Saturday afternoon. My name is Sean Fry. We will see you in a couple of weeks for Aurora University women's volleyball here at Thornton Gymnasium. Have a great rest of your weekend.